Hi, I'm Yaswanth. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to the book club. In this video, I want to discuss about a book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F by Mark Manson. So what is this book all about? So in general, we all have many problems to worry about. We all have many pain points to think about. But Mark Manson in this book clearly defines a strategy. So which clearly tells about what are all the problems that we actually need to worry about and what are all the things that we should ignore completely. Let's get into the video. The first thing that Mark Manson clearly mentioned in this book is the backwards law. So, according to backwards law, the harder we try, the less likely we will succeed. So, it is applicable for both good things as well as bad things. So, let's take an example. So, if you thought of earning money, so earning money is the only thing that you have and you tried harder, but the only intention is to earn money, then ultimately that you will end up not earning so much money that you actually thought of. So whatever it might be, if you think of fame, so the only intention is to get fame, then ultimately you will not succeed. So the harder we try to achieve few things, then less likely that you will succeed on that. So instead, work on the process. If you want to earn money, you need to work. If you concentrate on working harder on things that you love or things that pays you the most, then ultimately you will earn a lot of money. But if your sole intention is, I can say, earning money, then ultimately there are less chances that you will succeed. And the other thing Manson clearly mentioned is when you stop worrying about pain, you will become unstoppable. So it is true in most of the cases. So I can say, like, if you fail in an exam, so if you realize and if you tell yourself that yes, of course I haven't studied well, that's the reason why I failed in it, so I will try hard next time. So if you are in such an opinion about yourself on the failures and rejections that you get, then ultimately there are less chances that you will not suffer for that pain, so you will be unstoppable. But if in the other scenario, if you overthink of like you are a failure or you are a loser, then ultimately you are letting others to take advantage of you. Don't let others to take advantage of your pain and suffering. It is what this second thing is all about. So you need to accept your faults, you need to accept your pain, then ultimately you will be unstoppable. And the other thing that Mark clearly mentioned is we always find a reason to worry about. So even though you get 99% in your exam, you always had a reason why I failed to get 100%. Even though you won a silver medal in Olympics, you always had a reason to worry about why I'm not in the gold medal race. So whatever you achieve, we always had a reason to worry about. It is of course common for every individual human beings, but it is something that we need to avoid. We need to learn how to satisfy on various things. And the other thing is you need to decide what pain do you want in your life. Of course, as I said earlier, we all have so much things to worry about, we all have so much pain points to think about, but we need to actually decide which pain we are okay with. Let's suppose your intention is to get a gold medal for your country on a particular sport, so it involves so much of sacrifice, it involves so much of hard work. Of course it includes the pain, but you are okay with that because your dream is to get a gold medal for your country, then ultimately you are okay with suffering that pain. So it is how you need to prioritize what kind of pain that you are okay to suffer. So this is something that one should learn about. And the other thing that Mark Manson mentioned is be okay with ordinary. Every time we are highly dependent on things which are very special, so we always wanted to look special, we always wanted to buy special things, but sometimes you also need to be comfortable with being ordinary. Spend some time with your family, spend some time with the nature, maintain some positive relationships. Of course, even though they look ordinary, but they create some peaceful mindset to you. So it is important being okay with ordinary things. And the other thing Mark Manson mentioned is to value something, we must reject what is not that something. So of course, on in the process of prioritizing things, we also need to deprioritize few things. So I can say in the let's use the same example. So if you want to win a gold medal, so there are various things that you need to sacrifice. So it was like you need to sacrifice eating junk foods and many other things, even though you like them, because it is not in your priority bucket, you need to reject them. In order to value something, you also need to know what are all the things that you need to ignore. So otherwise you will worry about everything, so whatever it might be. So you know you want to worry about something, you are okay with thinking about something, you are okay with facing pain about something, then ultimately you need to know what are all the things that you are not okay with. And in the end, he also used Parkinson's law. So what actually this Parkinson's law? So work expands so as to fill the time available for its completion. So whatever the time that you allowed for a particular thing, then according to the same time limit, your work will get expanded. So take an example. So you want to study for an exam. You tell yourself that I need 5 hours for that exam. You will complete that by 5 hours. But if the same thing which can be completed by 5 hours, you tell yourself that I need 8 hours, then ultimately these 5 hours of work will extend to 8 hours. So it is what Parkinson's law is all about. Work expands to the time that you allot for that particular thing. So whatever the time that you expand for completion of particular thing, the work will expand to that. So Parkinson's law is a very important time management technique too. So you need to decide how much time that you want to spend for something. It might be for worrying about something, it might be to read something, it might be to achieve something, whatever it might be. You need to decide what time you should spend to think about something or to do something. And he also mentioned a law called Manson's law of avoidance. So according to Manson's law of avoidance, the more something threatens your identity, the more you will avoid it. So if you thought like something will threaten your identity, then ultimately you will avoid it. So there are maximum chances that you will avoid that. So take an example. So if you had a thought of writing a blog post today, you will get two immediate things. The first thing is positive thing. So what if my blog gets popular? This is something very positive. And the other side is negative thoughts. Like what if it has some mistakes? What if my friend or a relative points out the mistakes in that? What if it had some grammar errors? These are the negative thoughts that will strike your mind. So if negative thoughts are higher than the positive thoughts, then ultimately you will stop doing that. You feel like it threatens your identity. Many people will feel like you are a poor writer. So it is something that threatens your identity, so you stop doing that and you procrastinate yourself that I will do it some other time. So it is what Manson's law of avoidance is. Even for good cases, like if you felt like if I earn more money, then I need to face huge losses in the future. So if it's something strikes your mind and you thought like it threatens your identity, then you will stop doing that. So whether it might be a good thing or a bad thing, you feel like somebody will think negative about you or somebody will think or positive about you, whatever it might be, you start procrastinating things and you will stop doing those things. So it is what Manson's law of avoidance is. So this is the summary of this book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F. So I advise people to read this book. There are various lot of information available. So apart from the things that I have mentioned, there are some other things too. So if you want to live a good life without worrying about, without giving a F about many things, then ultimately this book is an ideal choice. You can find the link of this book in the description too. So you are the one who is responsible to decide what are all the things to worry about, what are all the things to care about, what are all the things to ignore about. Don't let others decide what are all the things that you need to worry. So this is what the main intention and the main summary of this book is. So you can find the link of this in the description too. If you like this video, please like and share this in your network. Also, if you are a new visitor to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.